All right, people, after a 1-0 defeat to Tottenham Hotspur, we're going to do a player ratings. I'm looking around and I'm trying to work out how this might play out. Let's just start. We'll do one player each and give a rating.
Don't give me the goal.
I was going to start with you, with David Raya. Don't give it to you, no?
No, do it. It's a friendly.
So I've one down, can't give it to you. So who should I give it? Let's give it to James.
James. More diplomatic one.
James the more diplomatic.
Yeah,
one?
very much so.
David Raya.
Kept going long, but like I thought that was maybe instruction. It was just like really boring. He's good out the back, and he was sort of constantly trying to find Havertz and Saka in behind. Give him a 5. I don't really think he did much wrong. Got bullied on set pieces a little bit.
Yeah.
5.
5. Okay. Ben Whiteley.
Oh, well, 5. Very gracious here, James. So didn't do nothing wrong.
Who? What? Ben White?
Right. I didn't do nothing.
We're doing a player each because
I was just like, he didn't do nothing wrong.
Okay.
Well, he won in his goal for the goal. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, but we know that Arteta asked him to step in. Like at this point, we shouldn't be surprised that he's asked.
Say bullied on crosses. I thought it was shocking.
I didn't give him an 8. I gave him a 5.
Yeah, 5. All right. So if he's getting a 5, Ben White's got to be 10 then.
Yeah, Ben White was my man of the match. I'd give him a 9. I thought he was brilliant.
No, he was brilliant. 8 out of 10 for Ben White. I thought what I think Ben White done today, he reminded everybody that, I think Timber was outstanding last season, but everybody's going, Timber. What he done today just reminded everybody he's still a very, very good player and still about. And I thought his attacking play was really good. And I tell you, I can't help but he's playing against Spurs and he's still aggressive and nasty and horrible to them. I like that, I have to say.
You like that? Not the tan that he has that you have as well, that you do, is that
well, no, listen, he's not been lazing by the pool. You can see he's been working hard and training hard. I thought, he went all the game as well, physically showed it. And I think with Timber struggling at the moment with injury, he's going to start the first few games and he looked very, very good today.
Okay, high praise for Ben White. You've given him your man of the match. Turkish, let's go to William Saliba.
I think he had a good game, in my opinion. I think after 20 minutes, Tottenham on the counter were a threat. He dealt with everything he needed to deal with on his side. Most of the threat probably came from the other side, but I'd say, what are you saying, 5 for Raya, 8 for Ben White. I'd probably say 7 for Saliba.
Saliba a 7 there. James, I want to come to you for the other centre-back partner, which is Jakob Kivior.
Yeah, there were some moments where he got a little bit bullied, but actually I thought there were other moments he did really, really well. Just give him a 6. He was sort of better than fine.
Okay. Miles Lewis-Skelly, Lee, obviously the player that...
That's a difficult one because I thought there was very, very good bits in his game and there was very, very poor bits in his game. Give away the goal. But there was some of the best creative moments come through him, Mixed bag, 6 out of 10, I don't think he was as bad as Raya, so I think you got to give him 6. But, some of his good things I thought probably outweighed his bad things and vice versa, But he looks a lot sharper today than he has done in the last couple of games.
I feel 6 is a bit harsh, but 6 is, I know probably because of the goal.
He was at fault for the goal.
But I thought it was a foul personally from watching it. But that's my opinion. It's not my player rating. But no.
So it's not a foul.
So you've rewatched it. I haven't rewatched it from what I saw. Okay.
I agree with Lee. I mean, he's one of the few players we have in the team that can beat players, which is crazy.
Yeah, I know.
So I can understand the rating, but he needs to be where one of his biggest strengths is the way he can hold off a couple man and still then move it forward and burst. But at the same time, there's always a risk element in that because if you lose it in the position he plays in, obviously he's a midfielder by trade. In that position, you had the defense to back you up. In defense, there's no one to back you up. So, yeah. That moment worked against him, but other than that, he beat players and, some of our good moments, which was, few and far between, he's done his thing.
I agree with that, by the way. Can I say I'm not highlighting that he was at fault for the goal to say, he should have got a 3 or 4. I agree with a 6 or 7. I thought he was much better today than he was in the previous games, but obviously coming down quite hard on Raya, I think it's worth acknowledging that Lewis Skelly played a part in that goal. I agree with his analysis of what happens when you play in that area too. Okay, let's go into midfield. I mean, a man I think you didn't expect to start. I think he probably was screaming for Martins and Mendy, but Christian Norgard, who I think he's been really good on this preseason. So he's been my surprise of the tour. Is it me or is it you?
It's you, James.
I'll give him a 6. I don't think he was that great today. I'm not sure I've seen the Norgard other people say they've seen this tour.
Yeah.
Out of possession, I am impressed. he hunts and he wins the ball back actually really well. He's got that kind of like long legs, like ability to kind of win a ball even when I don't think he's going to get to it. But I'm not convinced quite on the ball. I don't think he's been bad. I just don't think a lot of people have been quite praising. I'm not sure I've seen it. I don't know about you guys.
I thought we done okay, but you know, they're also in midfield to create as well and make things happen from an attacking point of view, and he didn't. But I agree with that. He won the ball a lot, won it in high areas, worked hard. But yeah, I don't disagree with that.
Okay. Declan Rice, Turkish.
And Declan was poor today, if I'm honest with you. I mean, the set pieces and the corners weren't great. And I guess that's, one of his biggest, or has been one of his biggest strengths over the last 12 months. Had a chance early on where, the Tottenham defence, it essentially headed it into his path where he could have burst into the box, and should have really tested the keeper. Probably should have scored, in my opinion, from that position. Block shot, but other than that, I didn't see much else of him, and that's the problem, in my opinion, in terms of why I feel like he played poorly. Declan Rice, by his standards, I say, I'm probably leaning towards a 3.
Declan Rice, 3. Let's go to our captain, Martin Odegaard.
He was worse than Raya. That's unreal, like, you know what I mean? But I don't know, like, I'm getting the hard ones here, Martin Odegaard, because some of our best work come from him, but then some of the problems that Arsenal have in breaking the low block, I think is down to him as well. Like, you know what I mean? Continually keeps feeding the wide players. When they're getting locked off, you have to try and be a little bit more inventive and a little bit more creative. I don't think he created anything today, but he was not one of our worst players. 6 out of 10. I'm sorry, because you've got to look at the offensive side. It's brilliant. He's doing the defensive side of it, but offensively, I honestly say today Arsenal was shocking offensively today, and he's part of that.
You were full.
Whatever you said to him about Raya, I'm going to say the same about Odegaard to you. 6 is above average for me. Maybe the metrics are different, but he definitely wasn't above average. He definitely wasn't average. In my opinion, he gets a 4. He wasn't good enough. This is pre-season. It's time to test the waters. Take a risk or two. And anytime he got in and around the box, it's always out wide to Saka. And that's so predictable. And, he's got to take some of the onus on himself to maybe cut inside on your stronger foot and open up the game a little, in and around the box. And even when he done that, the aimless balls into the box to the back post, it just wasn't working. So for me, it was a poor game, 4 out of 10.
Well, I mean, you just said to me, you just said then that you're getting all the hard ones. I mean, there's a lot more tricky ones that are coming up.
Well, no, these 3 ain't.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see your ratings because you've been true, with how you rate players by saying 4 for Martin Odegaard, which is below average. You've gone 6. I think again that was kind as well. But for you, James, then Bukayo Saka, what do you rate him?
Yeah, I've seen some criticism actually throughout the tour. I'll give him a 7. I thought he was I think he's like the only one trying to make things happen, who actually beats his fullback, take Jed Spence, right, as a really good fullback. I don't think Saka had the beating of him, but he was winning. He's winning like corners. He's putting dangerous balls into the box. Like, even when Saka isn't at his best, I'm not saying he was anywhere near his best.
7 is.
Or a 6. But my point is, I think he.
Sorry, no, okay, no, sorry.
I think he makes. We're talking about Odegaard not having the impact we want. Saka didn't have the impact we want, yet still had an impact in some way. I still feel like he was making things happen. I don't know. Maybe I'm being too kind.
No, maybe I
think you're being too kind on him. I think I'm going to say it now. I think out of the front 3, he was our best front player.
Yeah.
But the other 2 were non-existent. So, there was one bit of thing from Havertz and all that. But I thought that was Saka's worst game today. There was not really a lot of end product. But I take on James's point that he, looked a little.
He's still you can see the fullbacks are still stressing. They're still bringing the winger back to double up. They're still constantly. He's always a problem, whether he's on it or not.
I agree, and that's the problems that he's got. But you've got to find ways of trying to get past those players. I didn't think he'd done that today. But as I say, it's pre-season. Still, coming back from an injury and all that.
He did hobble. He actually did hobble onto the coach around the back.
The other thing I will say on Saka, which I think's gone a little bit unnoticed, is that because it's a friendly, they can bully him a little bit, make fouls that they wouldn't. There was about 3 or 4 fouls on him that would get yellow cards, and then the advantage turns to him. But they were making those fouls and then obviously not getting booked for it, so they could do it again. So it was easier to stop him in that way because of that. But if you want to be, I go along with James. He was our better player.
Okay, Kai Havertz, Turkish.
You set this one up nice, didn't it? I've said what I need to say about Kai. I just don't understand the criticism of the opinion that he's not been good enough, because I struggle in general with the signing, and today was another example of it. I think his best moment in the game was probably the layoff to Martinelli. What was it? End of the first? No, I can't remember when it was. It doesn't matter. And one little moment, and even then, he didn't really set it into his path well enough. Martinelli still had work to do. Who done it poorly. For me, it's all relative, right? When I talk of wages, the expectation is, relative to the wage being paid, right? And he's our highest paid player. He's the guy that didn't work in midfield, went up top, and now we've got a new striker in. And I just need some more from him. I just don't see him going onto his left foot enough and trying to test the keeper. I feel like he's always playing it a bit too safe. I know the comments are saying overreaction right now. They're probably halfway through typing it, but I don't know what's in there for them, if I'm honest with you. For me, I'm probably going to say 2 out of 10 again.
2 out of 10 to Kai Havertz.
I've got to say, in their defence of all three, and I'm not just have it. What was they feeding on? When was the through passes? Where was the creativity coming from them? Like, there wasn't really a lot. Probably the better stuff come through Kai when it was up to him, holding it up and all that lot. But then there was 3 or 4 occasions where the ball goes up to him. I don't understand this tactic, by the way. 3 or 4 times it went up to him, isolated with 2 centre forwards, centre defenders around him, and no one within 10, 15 yards of him. You know what I mean? I'm not. They were poor. But there are reasons why they were poor as well.
Yeah, I saw that with Gyökeres when he came on. He was telling the players to step up and get closer to him. But let me go to Gabriel Martinelli for you.
Oh, it's becoming a worry. Becoming a massive worry for him. I'm a big Martinelli fan, but that's the 3rd game now where listen, you can praise him for his defensive stuff, and I do. But there were times today when he's got to take on the fullback, and he just doesn't do it. And it was one time he showed it so much to the fullback. It was just so poor. And then you look at Trossard come on and look dangerous before he got injured. And then Nelson coming on looking dangerous when it's got to be Martinelli. You know what I mean? Like, he's got to make a little bit more. When James says Saka's being dangerous, which he is. Well, it's vice versa at the moment. There were opportunities when he was one-on-one, and it just wasn't good enough today. I'm reluctant to give anybody a 3, but I think I'm going to have to give Martinelli a 3.
I think he was the worst player on the pitch for us from the 11.
you googled like 3 is too high.
He gets a 2 as well, closer to a 1 than a 3. Not good enough. Right. The fact Nelson has been our best left winger in this pre-season tour in general. Yeah, come on, Nelson came on in that 5, 6 minute, 7 minute spell and beat his man a couple of times, won a free kick, I think, and that was much more than Martinelli did in 60. And when I see him coming off, he doesn't really look upset with his performance. It just looks like he's coming off and it's on to the next one. Yeah. Left wing is a big problem for us, in my opinion, and it's a problem we still haven't addressed, and Eze doesn't really address that. Eze is a central player. He can play on the left, but he's a central player. On the left, he's going to cut in a lot more.
Should they be looking to hold on to Reece Nelson or not?
The ship sailed on that one, right? I mean, we gave him a contract and we played him like 3-4 times in that season. Didn't make sense, but it's not favoured by our manager. So, in my opinion, we still got the same manager. So there's no point in testing those waters again because we've tested them already.
Give me Reece Nelson's rating while we're on him now.
He got 6 minutes, 6 out of 10. That's it.
Okay, for Reece Nelson, 6 out of 10.
For every minute.
Yeah, Zinchenko.
4 more minutes, he'd have been man of the match. And I actually think that's probably
maybe,
true.
Yeah.
4 more minutes, 10 minutes, and then 10 out of 10. But for you, Zinchenko, these are we've got to flip through these.
He actually tried to overlap a little bit. That's all I can really say. 5.
Okay, I'm going to try and go.
Crossing poor, by the way. His crossing was poor.
Yeah. In general, the crossing all round was poor. Yeah. They beat us on the set pieces.
Yeah, massive bullied us on set pieces. Anyway, let's not. Nicholas Yova gets a 1 for today, I'll be real.
He tried something new with a new set piece routine.
Yeah, but whatever, I don't mind that. We got bullied on set pieces. That's what we were doing to them a year ago. Thomas Frank's been there 2 weeks. Come on.
I'm just going to pull up some more of the subs. Then go to Christian Mascara for you, Lee.
Oh, do you know what? He looked comfortable on the ball. Yeah, I have to say that. I was quite impressed with his performance. Looks accomplished smooth in the back there. Smooth, yeah. I'm going to give him a 7 when he come on. I thought, he didn't really have to do too much, but none of our defenders had to. What it was what they'd done on the ball. I thought he looks all right. I have to say that. I was impressed.
Mikel Merino, James. I'm coming to you, Turkish.
5. I didn't really see him do anything.
Yeah, I mean, these guys got little minutes, and remind me, forgive me because I'm looking down because there's so many that came on but had little minutes. Let's go to... let's go to Zubimendi then, Turkish.
He's new to this, so I'm going to give him a 5, just default it. But he wasn't impressive, was he? No. I feel like he should have came on at half-time. I feel like going with the same team in the second half kind of set the tone from the first half. Yeah. And then he comes in and, the tone's already set. It's similar to a lot of players. We could go Gyökeres and, everyone that came on. But I'm just going to go default 5 because he's still acclimatizing. But generally, during pre-season, I just, I hope we come to see more as he does get used to Mikel, the tactics and the team around him now. But yeah, I wasn't impressed.
Victor Gyökeres.
Oh, you're out of order.
I'm not out of order.
Yeah, out of order. 4 out of 10, and I'll tell you why, because he's nowhere near fit enough at this moment of the season. Obviously, he's going to get more minutes under his belt. It was just a run out for him today, just to stretch his legs and everything like that.
Did he touch the ball?
I think he touched it once, twice.
He had one moment though that when I watched it live, when he set up for Zubimendi, when I watched it, I didn't really think much of it, but I watched it back and it was a good touch, good strength, good touch. He set it well. It was.
He's going to be
I agree. It's no more than a 4. He didn't do it.
He's going to be a good player. It's just unfortunate at the minute. Like he's well behind the others, and it doesn't matter when they go. Oh, they're training on their own and all. That's completely different.
Leandro Trossard.
Do you know what? Again, I thought he came on, looked okay, but I just think he's had a good pre-season. Went off injured. 5. Again, it's a lot of 5s. I don't think he was. I think he was fine, wasn't he? He wasn't good or great, but he was in the other 2. I will say that the other 2 games I was very impressed with him.
And one of the players I was very excited to see in this pre-season tour, Max Dowman.
Probably one of the brightest sparks off the bench yet again. Again, the platform wasn't great for him to come on, but he came on and he actually changed things up. And I look at our squad and I feel like we haven't got enough options to change things up. And the 15-year-old is one of them. He helped in the last 30 minutes. I think he was a lot better than the previous 77.
Yeah. I read a stat that he had 19 touches and Martin had 16 the whole game.
Crazy. Does he deserve minutes in the Premier League after this pre-season tour?
Listen, it's not about deserves or not. This is a big season for us. My thing is not about his quality. My thing is about how volatile we are and have been as a fan base over the years, and rightly so. When you consider it's 21 years without a league, when you consider this is the 6th year since Be Excited and Mikel coming in and whatnot and trusting the process. I mean, he'll get his minutes. I'm looking at Carabao and maybe FA Cup more than anything, or games we're comfortably seeing out. But in general, I mean, in terms of quality, he deserves everything. But in terms of age, he deserves protection. But for me, I'll give him a 7 out of 10.
Can I ask something really quickly? I found myself, and I don't feel good about this. He played there was one bit where Ben White overlapped and he overhit the pass out. Yeah. And honestly, I went, I was so frustrated with chasing a goal. And then I very quickly was like, stop. He's a 15-year-old. Like, and that, you talk about volatility. That's, ultimately, if you're putting on the shirt for the first team, I know we're talking for pre-season and we're still expecting the team to do the same things, whether you're 15 on the pitch or whatever. That's and I agree. It's not really right. Now for pre-season, whatever, it's not that deep, and I knew it in the moment. But I'm just saying, like, ultimately, however talented you are, there is a pressure that you've got to ask yourself: is that fair? If he's talented enough and deserves to play, he will play. Mikel Arteta will give him those minutes. But I agree. Let's not rush it. When Harry didn't get on the pitch today, and I've seen him come on and have a major impact at 17. So we can take our time, but what a talent he is.
One thing I will say this is that he did mess up there, but he still wants the ball,
after.
He's unbelievable, his quality.
I do think that he's going to get This is very interesting, as you say there, James. Wayne Yu didn't come on in that position in place of him. They brought him on. And do you know what? I'm going to say it now. When he come on, he was our hope.
Yep, yeah, man. And he got a lot of fans off their seats. The standout of the tour for you lot, who was it?
Probably Diamond. I mean, I agree that Trossard's been good. I think Norgard's done what I expected him to do in all the games, and that's win the ball back. On the ball, I don't expect much, and we haven't got much. I think Ben White's looked sharp, but generally, I mean, if we're talking standout in terms of excitement, it's definitely Max Diamond.
Yeah, I agree with that, but the best player for me has been Ben White.
Yeah, I think Ben White's been up there. I think
The whole tour, yeah?
Saliba's been the best. I think three games, I think he's just been class. Showed his class again today. But I do think Ben White's been a real big plus for us. And Dowman's been the headline, yeah. But Saliba for me.
The thing about I agree, but Saliba, we know what it is with him. So for me, it's not the standout when it's the expectation that he set. Yeah, but I agree. I mean, Ben White and Saliba deserve a shout. But in terms of excitement, in terms of freshness, I look at Max Diamond, and this is contrary to what I say, because maybe this does apply some pressure. But I still look at Arteta and think, why didn't he bring Noni? And this is coming from someone who didn't want the guy, who's actually still confused about it. But, the guy wanted to come, so bring him along.
Yeah, all right. Well, listen, that's it for the player ratings. I want to let
the manager?
we have the manager and fans. Go on then. I'm not going to get James, Mikel Arteta over this
Well,
game.
quick rating for both. Fans, I thought were a 10. I thought, and hate to say it, but I include the Tottenham fans too. I thought just the back and forth, the chanting, the atmosphere was great. The manager, a 4. I mean, we lost, and I didn't really get the subs. Mendy and Rice have played 10 minutes together, like the whole of the pre-season. I found that really weird. So 4. No, I wasn't happy with it.
Referee quickly.
Well, listen, I've heard a lot of people blaming the referee for the result. I think look at things closer at home. You know what I mean? I thought the manager was poor today. Referee 5, Arteta 3 for me. I thought he's had a shocker today. The shocker.
Do you want to give ratings for the referee and the manager?
Couldn't care less about the referee, man. Poor, but in general, across the world, refereeing has gone down the shitter. So,
Down the shit is what an expression.
They're bad in the Premier League, so what do you expect?
Mikel Arteta, I mean, I haven't seen nothing new, bit of the same. I'm going to give him a 3 out of 10.
The rain's about to open the heavens. Let us know your surprise of the tour if you watch all 3 games. Like the video on the way out, and we'll see you again soon. Take care.